Thank you very much for those of you who have managed to come here today. The objective of today's presentation that I have is to provide the club members with updates that we've had on Pathways recently in October, which even we as the ExCom and the VPs especially are trying to figure out how to actually incorporate. When that came up, a lot of the members also mentioned that they did not know that some of the pathways the paths have changed and there's been some changes made since they knew previously. So I thought this might be a good opportunity to just go through everything, and I take this time, about 20 minutes or so, to go through what pathways are, what are the different options that you can choose from, what are the updates that we have, and also what we would need to do in order to make sure that we comply with all the requirements that we have from Toastmasters International. Of course, when I put together this presentation, it comes from some bit of work from all of us in the ExCom. Jennifer has been extremely helpful as our advisor to let me know what was discussed in the PQD meetings and what was discussed in other clubs elsewhere. Jordan and Catherine, obviously, we are a team that we work together quite a bit to get the plans together. So I'm speaking on their behalf as well. So first of all, let me quickly just introduce that we have only 6 paths in our pathways. Before 2024 October, there used to be 11 paths. So there used to be effective coaching, innovative planning, leadership development, strategic relationships, and team collaboration as well, which used to be paths, but they have been removed. The reason was apparently there were a lot of complaints or suggestions from members across the globe that there were too many choices and it was making it very hard for them to pick and choose what they wanted to do. So they kind of brought it down to 6 paths. So the current paths that you can choose from are dynamic leadership, engaging humor, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, and visionary communication. Is anyone here doing the legacy paths, any of the legacy paths? Okay, so the first thing is that if you're doing a legacy path, these changes don't apply because they are not updating the legacy path with these changes. However, that doesn't mean that you don't do those projects. You can still feel free to take up the roles and do the projects, but you would not see it in your TI base camp. Okay, first of all, how many of you opened your base camp after I asked you yesterday to check the changes that you can see on your own account? Okay, that's just... Okay.
Can I ask one thing? What is legacy path?
Legacy paths are the paths that they have discontinued. So you can still complete them, but they are not kind of counted anymore because they will still allow you to complete the projects, but you will not see any future updates on those paths if there's any changes made. That's why they're called as legacy paths. Alright, so the core competencies, of course, that we are developing in Toastmasters is public speaking, interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, management, and confidence. So, base camp, for those of you, I hope everyone here has logged into their base camp at least sometime in their lives. So that is your digital home where you can access your path, you can track your progress, you can request for your approvals for completion of levels and paths, view your rewards, recognitions, and you have all your digital resources for each of the projects that you do, and also the way for you to communicate with club officers. I don't think our club needs that because we are too close to use Basecamp as a way to communicate with each other. So quickly I would like to highlight first that what the pathway enhancements that have happened now in October 2025 include these. First thing, what's been retained is that for each of those 6 paths that you saw, you would have the speech requirement as the same as now. So whatever you've been doing now for each of your levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the speech requirements will exactly be the same. What's been added on are these 2 things. First one is meeting roles that you will need to take for different kinds of, based on your levels. Actually it's for level 1 to 5, I need to correct that. And the education series presentations. And this is new to newer members, but for older members, like the 20-year-old members in our club, probably you know that we used to do something called as competent communicator as a manual. I was a part of that team as well when I was a member 10 years ago. And it's pretty much similar to what existed back then. It's just that now it has been digitized and we need to do the presentations for competent communicator, which has been divided into successful club series, better speaker series, and leadership excellence series. I have added these 2 QR codes. I'll be sharing this presentation later, so just as a reference, as a quick guide, so that you know where to find these. So this is for Pathways update, and that's for the FAQs related to Pathways. Moving forward, I'll quickly tell you what each of these levels actually the changes are and what the requirements are. So the speech requirements are same for level 1 across all the 6 parts, and I hope all of you know this. How many of you have completed at least one level 1 so far? So you all know that you finished all of these projects. So icebreaker, writing a speech with purpose, and so on. The things that's been added is only the meeting roles. So you need to be a table topics speaker, an evaluator, or you have to take up a timekeeper or an hour counter before you request for the completion of this level. So how it works is when you send the VPEs, the request for completion, it asks you, have you done these roles? So you need to check them. And that's when we will be able to approve it as completed, right? So we don't have any education series presentation in level 1. Also, they have mentioned specifically that the table topics needs to be done before you do your icebreaker. So you need to attempt to speak first in front of the audience. I'll quickly go through the rest. This is how it looks on your Basecamp when you have the checklist. The reason I took screenshots and not showing you on Basecamp is because the TI website is really slow, and I didn't want to waste my time trying to click through all of this. So, and also a way for me to encourage you to go to your TI website and actually look at these things. Second one, for the level 2, all the parts have introduction to Toastmasters, mentoring, and depending on which path you're doing, you would have different projects. You have 2 extra projects in level 2. Again, level 2 doesn't have any educational series presentations, but you would need to take these roles, Ramya Topics Master Evaluator, and you can do either of those 3 roles as a 4th role that you take up. So if you don't finish these roles, you are not going to be able to qualify as completing level 2. When I also say completing these roles, it doesn't mean you took this role in 2023 and you can tell me that, oh, I have finished this role before. No, it has to be during the time that you're completing this pathway. So from the time you started level 1 of a certain path until you complete level 1 of that path, you would have to take these roles. Am I clear? Okay, thank you so much. I have taken a lot of time to read the fine print. So,
question?
Yes.
So these roles, can I pick it before my first project of that level?
Yes, so as long as this is within the time frame, because that's what it says, like during the time frame of completion of, once you've started a path, if it's somewhere in the middle, I think it's all right. We can't be so strict because ours is a very big club, and I think we don't even get those many opportunities. So of course we're going to be considerate, but you cannot be saying that you took it last year and you want to claim for it this year, right? Obviously that's not kind of fair. And also you can't claim the same role twice for 2 levels. So you need to do it in each level. So if you've done Toastmasters in level 2, you would also need to do it in level 3, level 4 as per the requirement. Is that okay? Good. So you will see again in your Basecamp, when you go over there, you will see this as a checklist when you submit for completion. Moving forward for level 3, this is where it starts getting more serious, because now you have 2 more projects that will be getting added, 1 or 2 more projects that are getting added. So of course the meeting roles, they are similar to the previous ones which you need to take, but then you would have to do 1 of the presentations from 4 topics that they have given for successful club series. I have not included all that because the slide was becoming too cluttered, but you can always go and check everything. And I have included a QR code that links you directly to the download option for all the successful club series presentations, so you can choose from them which ones you want to do. Again, for level 3, again, this is the same as before, the 1 required speech and 1 of the electives, 2 of the electives that you choose from the 15 options that you have for level 3. That's how it would look on your completion checklist. Then level 4, again, it will be the same way. You do 1 required speech, you choose 1 elective presentation, but For your education club series presentations, you will have 2 presentations to be done. One from successful club series, which is 4 options. You need to choose one of them. They are not the 4 options as the previous one, mind you. They are a different set of 4 options. And then there's a better speaker series, and you have about 10 options. Better speaker is basically like vocal variety, body language, and so on. Meeting roles, again, you have to see here, you start to see that you get to do the role of a GE, as that's the role. So they kind of expect you to have at least finished 3 levels if you are a relatively new member before you take on the role as a GE. Of course, at Achievers, we have very high performing club members, so I don't think we always need to follow this rule, but this is a general guideline that they have provided to us. Over here, when they say specialized role, I have marked it, please take a look at it on the website. Basically, it means if you're, let's say, assisting someone for online presentation, or if you are doing the Zoom master or so on, that qualifies as a specialized role.
Topics master being the table
topics master. Yes, yes. I've just copied everything as is, yeah, and that's how it would look on your checklist. And then level 5, again the speech requirements, 1 speech that's required, and you choose the electives. It's 1 elective, I understand. But then again, now you have successful club series, and then you have leadership excellence series, which is the next education series part. So, and then you need to do here, if you see, GE twice, Toastmaster twice, Evaluator twice. And then tabletop, these ones you could do, or you could repeat any of the other roles from before. So basically you need to take 7 roles before you complete level 5. I hope. So now I think it will motivate you to take more GE and chairman roles in the club. And that's how it looks. So I just picked a couple of the, you don't need to read through, but I just put it here so that it's easy for you all to see what were the specific changes. So if you see what's changing in pathways that I've already mentioned, level 3, 4, 5 have the additional presentations. What if I have already completed a level in my path? So I have finished already level 3 in one of my paths, I'm doing my level 4. Even though it shows up on my level 3 that I need to complete these things, you don't need to complete because it's already been approved and TI has approved it. So you don't need to go back and do this for any of the parts that you've levels that you've completed. It's only for the parts that you're working on and the future parts. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. Next one, if you're working on a legacy path, as I already mentioned, which is not available, can I still do these? No, because it will not show up on your pathways, on your projects. But again, we encourage you to take roles and do more stuff for the club, right? So now I'll, yeah, that's how the level 5 looks. Sorry, oh sorry, I went backwards. Yes. So now the important task for us as ex-com BPKs was to find out 2 things. One, how do we track and maintain the record of our progress, right? Because now this is additional work, and it's not easy for us to track which roles you've taken, when you've taken, because it's a lot of members, and TI doesn't give you any kind of template to do this. They've just said, find a way to track. So now we had to find a way to track. So we had multiple conversations of this. I have bugged Jennifer a lot, and we've had multiple conversations between Jordan and Catherine, and we came up with a solution which I hope all of you will comply with and agree and support us with, because this is the best way we could think we could do it. And the second part is, how do we manage it on Easy Speak? Because again, Easy Speak doesn't have any choice for better speakers, successful club or anything. And according to Jim, they won't update because they don't have any money to add any updates to these requirements. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to switch. I have a QR code again for a checklist template that we created. Catherine and I put together something, and I'll just quickly show you how that looks. So what we did was we put together a template on a spreadsheet. First thing, most important thing, this one is on Google Sheets. Please download it for yourself, name it for yourself, and keep a copy. Don't make changes on this template. Please, which is because it's the master template and we don't want to ruin that. So please, I'm sorry if I'm being very pedantic about it, but this is important. We made it, so the QR code is added to the PPT, but we'll also share it in the group chat. Okay? So now if you see here, we've made this for each level. So level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've added the checklist for completion. So this is the additional stuff, that the roles that you need to take. And this one is your speech requirements, which is the same as before. Is that easy? So all we need from you is to specify which date that you've done that specific role or your speech. If it's a speech, who was your evaluator? And if you've done it in other clubs, now I am a member of many clubs, and so I'm also doing speeches elsewhere, and I know quite a few of you are members in other clubs, then please specify where you've done it, and please provide an agenda of that meeting so that we know that you've done that speech. If you want, you can also provide us with the evaluator's form, but it's up to you. Yes?
Sorry, Ramya. For example, I compare level 1 of a certain path, but I no longer need to provide you with detail of a completed path level, right? Because you will be too...
Not for the levels. No. So this is, let's say you're doing, there are quite a few members who are doing like three parts at the same time.
Yes.
Right? So in one part, maybe you're on level 1, and another one you're on level 3 and level 5, right? So you can use each of these templates to fill that. So you specify which path you are on, and then you just fill them as it is.
For example, if I have completed that level already,
then no need,
right?
Whatever is ongoing,
Okay.
whatever is ongoing. Yes, please, yes. If you have, no, please don't add to our work also. Keep it simple for us. Okay, so this is just so that we make sure that we can cross-check quickly and we can verify. Of course, there's a sense of trust we all have. So we do trust when you say you've done a certain role. And of course, but if we know that you've never shown up for meetings and suddenly you're claiming you've done GE twice, I would be pissed. Yeah.
So Ramya, can I add a
Yes.
statement to
Yes,
what
of
Esther
course, of
before I
course.
ask a question? The reason why we also prepare this is that oftentimes as a VPD, we got asked to approve your speech progress. In order for us to approve, we need to know whether you have complete this. So that's why, if you can fill that in, this information share us that you have completed. This allow us to do the job as well to give you the approval.
I do not mean the ongoing path. I mean just already completed.
No need.
Well, that's my question.
Yeah.
If you finish level 1, done. Forget about it. Yeah. If you're on level 3 now, just fill the level 3 tab.
The work in progress.
Yes, work in progress, exactly.
Seeking for
So it's the same for every level now, as you can see over here. So level 3. What I've also done is added the resources from where you can get all the level 3 presentations, the link for that. So you can just click over there and go on the resources and you can download all the presentations. I would highly encourage all of you to go and check these and take a look at what the presentations are like. I don't want to spoon feed everything to you because I wish that you all take that effort to do stuff as well. So I'll not go any further because this is, I think, quite straightforward. So what we basically need, and even for example this one, you need to do GE1, GE2, the Toastmaster of the Evening 1, Toastmaster of the Evening 2. So even that's been added. Just specify the date and the details. Yeah, that should be okay. Is this okay for everyone to do? I think it's also a good way for everyone to keep track of what you all are doing for yourself, right? So I think it's a great thing to do.
So who has access to this profile?
No, so this one is you download it, save it for yourself as a Google Sheet. So that's why I said please don't make changes on this Google Sheet because this is the master one that all the 68 members of the club will download and use. So don't start entering your details into this Google. Please download, save as Victor Ape checklist and so on. That's why I have named it as member name pathway checklist. So please put your name and pathway checklist. You can just send us the screenshot of this. That's also fine for us to verify. That doesn't matter. All good? Okay. Yes.
For the roles, if we also have to approve it online on the TI website?
Yes.
Even the roles?
Yes. So that's why we need to verify because otherwise we cannot keep track of which role you did when. And so if you say that you've done it in July, I can at least go back and check on Easy Speak in case I need to verify. So that's the only reason why we're asking you to do this because otherwise it's very hard to track. And I don't know how other clubs are doing. This is the best way we figured it out. I don't know if Jordan has any ideas of how other things are being
The
done.
good thing is that we have Easy Speak. So as long as you mention, I've been a GE on the 21st of September and I've been a table topics master on the 15th of October, it makes us very easy. For other clubs, that would be difficult. The
Yeah,
PI
okay.
speak.
Okay. Now I'll quickly show you what you need to do on Easy Speak to request for the Better Speaker series and the successful club series and so on, because at the moment there is no option to do this. So let's say you are taking a speech on a certain day and your speech is on successful club series. Because I cannot have a drop down, let's say I'm doing level 3, what I would do is, okay, so here I go to mine, I'll just show you how I'm, oh good, it shows up. So let's say I just go here, and if you know, we have to do, for our level 3, we need to choose 2 electives, but you need to do 1 successful club series. So what you just do is choose any 3rd elective, doesn't matter which one, just choose any elective that you, yeah, let's say I just choose this as the elective, but in the speech title, I just say over here that please consider this as successful club series presentation. So we know that this is what it is. When you save this now on the agenda, when I say save, if you see over here, it shows over here as consider this as successful club series. Can you see that? Yes.
So I just randomly choose one project.
Yes, 1 project in level 3. So in level 3, you need to do 1 extra presentation, right? You need to do 1 successful club series. Level 4 and 5, you need to do 2 each. So what you need to do is just choose a 3rd elective in level 3 and you choose 2 extra electives in level 4 and 5. Okay? Does that make sense? Yes.
And evaluation form.
Evaluation form is already there in the presentation, the stuff that, the QR code that you have to scan for successful club series, because it's actually still the old manual. So you have to just print out from that one of the pages, which is the evaluation form. So it's not readily available to click and download like before. Okay? So this one will take a little bit of a learning curve and we are there to help you. If you need to make this, we'll do this. Is it okay if I take a little bit of extra time
Yes.
It's okay.
to finish this?
It's
Okay.
I want.
Yes.
Then how would we create an agenda?
No, so the agenda will show this.
What?
So we can ignore, because I'm trying to see with Jim. Jim has not been well, but I'm checking with Jim if there's a way we don't see this bit. But I think it's not possible at the moment. So we'll focus on that one. So if the introduction says this is the club successful club series presentation, then we know that this is your second the project for the education series presentation, and we will consider it under that. Because at the moment there's no other way we can find a way to request for that presentation in Easy Speak.
Oh yeah. You cannot do it.
Yes.
You can only
There's nothing, no option.
after generating the agenda.
Yes,
Yeah.
manually
You
we
change the
yes,
PDF.
exactly. So when we create the agenda, that will be something that we can change over there. But when you do this agenda, automatically it will not change. So we'll manually do it. But don't worry about that. That's something we can manage. Yes.
We are not like you, because you are VPE, you can click it on. Every time we have to request. So when we are making a request, we make sure that you know that is a
No, you can go and request your own speech. When you are clicking as a speaker, you can input your speech title and your project. That's your job to do, not VPE.
Yes, I can concur to that.
Yes.
But
As a
when
VP,
you make request,
As a VP.
No, but you need to fill your own speech
yeah,
details.
I know. But
No.
then only when you approve that I have that time slot.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
So once we approve, when you request and when you put the details of your speech, please make sure to mention that this is for the successful club or better speaker or leadership, whatever that was.
Okay.
Yes.
Excuse me,
Yes.
where do you request to be a speaker? Where?
No, that is your regular, how you request a speech, right? When you go here, that's on Easy Speak, the natural one, like here, when you request over here. So you just go here and request for yourself, right? This is a club officer view, so that's not the same view as you. So please go on your Easy Speak and
It's
check.
offline, yeah.
So quickly, so this is, like I said, the Excel template, and on Easy Speak, you just mentioned, this is for so and so, so we know what the project is for. Is this simple enough? This is the simplest we could make it. Yes, SK.
When we input our speech title, we immediately add is a request on so and so.
Yes,
Because
so
of
please
speech
mention
title-
it here. There's a thing called speech introduction for Toastmasters. Please mention it over here.
Okay.
Don't forget to mention it because we don't know that it's your extra project.
Okay.
Don't put it in the box directly in the title, otherwise it will show up in the agenda when we print it.
Yeah,
That's
It's okay.
not on the speech title, on the bottom.
On the bottom. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Got it.
Okay? Anyway, I'll send this multiple times, so don't worry. We will make sure, because it's a learning curve even for us. We don't know how else to track at the moment. Okay? So now, we have something, a lot of fun. So our awesome Jennifer said that because every one of us has to take so many roles, why don't we have something like a game? So I took it up to a crazy next level, and I made a very fancy poster to say that you need to take 11 roles. This is our club. The names are a bit funky just to keep it fun. So the meeting maestro is the chairman of the meeting, the master of ceremonies is of course the Toastmaster, and so on. I'll give you the cheat code for that. So each time you finish one of these roles, you will get a check kind of point, and then the first person to complete all the roles from Jan to June 2026 is going to be the grand prize winner, because he's going to be the ultimate Toastmaster. So please make sure you sign up for each of these roles as quickly as you can to claim that reward. What's that reward? You will know very soon.
Starting from January.
Jan 2026. So quick things to your next steps: track progress in the checklist that we've given. Like I mentioned, please make a copy for yourself. Don't make edits on that template. And request presentations on Easy Speak with that additional information, and join the roll-a-thon and take up all the roles that you can. I hope this session was useful. This was not the only session we're going to do. This is the first of the series. We'll try and do more of these sessions when we have more group members, but we recorded this session today for the benefit of all parents. Thank you so much. If any questions.